Okay, we're doing some abdominal work. So laying down on your mat, on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Placing the hands over the pelvis, fingertips on the pubic bone, wrists over the hips. We're going to start off in our neutral spine with the tailbone down, hands parallel to the floor. With our imprinted spine, you're going to lower the spine down towards the floor using your abdominals, keeping your bum soft and your feet soft on the floor. Okay, your tailbone will still be touching the floor but not pressed down, and your pubic bone will sit up towards the ceiling. Inhale, shifting to our neutral spine, and exhale down into imprinted. Inhale, back to neutral, and exhale down into imprinted. Good, and resting back into our neutral spine, we're going to look at the T-zone. Imagine a capital letter T over the pelvis. The vertical line of the T corresponds to your pelvic floor, and the horizontal line of the T across the top between the hips corresponds to your deep abdominals. We're going to lift the pelvic floor up along that vertical line of the T, squeeze and lift, and relax. Squeeze and lift, and relax. One more time, we're going to squeeze, lift, and hold, not as tight as you can, but something you can maintain. And we're going to bring the muscles between our hips in towards each other, scooping in like you're giving your hips a hug, and then flattening the center of the T down towards the spine. Again, that's pelvic floor up, hips in towards each other, and flattening towards the spine. Okay, taking your hands to your lower ribs. We're going to inhale through the T-zone, ribs expand into the hands. On your exhale, we're going to close those ribs down and in towards the hips. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, ribs to hips. Inhale, lifting through the pelvic floor. Ribs expand into the hands. And exhale, ribs down and in towards the hips. Couple more breaths. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, ribs to hips. We're going to start off with a bent knee fall out from here, keeping our feet flat on the floor, neutral spine. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to let one knee gently fall out towards the edge of the mat, ribs to hips. And inhale, use the T-zone to draw the knee back in towards the center. Other leg now, inhale, let the knee fall out. And exhale, bring it back in. I think I've just stuffed that up. Yeah. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, let the knee fall out. And inhale, bring the knee back in. Exhale, let the other knee fall out. And inhale, bring the knee back in. Drawing those hips in towards each other, scooping down. Exhale, ribs to hips. Gently rocking towards the outside of the foot, keeping your hips parallel to the floor, anchoring down with the tailbone. Letting the knee gently fall out, but keeping the hips as still as possible. Inhale, T-zone, bring the knee in. Exhale, let the knee fall out, ribs to hips. Couple more. Inhale, T-zone, bring the knee in. And exhale, let the other knee fall out. Good, and resting there. Okay, once again, still in our neutral spine, hands by your sides. We're going to move into lift foot. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to lift one knee up into tabletop position. Knee stacked directly above the hip and shin parallel to the floor. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift the other side, ribs to hips to draw the knee up towards the chest. Inhale, lower, tailbone down, T-zone tight. And exhale, ribs to hips to draw the knee towards the chest. Using those abdominals to control the movement and not just lifting the knee using the hip flexor. Inhale, lower, nice and controlled. And exhale, lift, ribs to hips. Couple more. Exhale, lift, ribs to hips. Inhale, lower, T-zone tight. Lifting through the pelvic floor, anchoring the tailbone down. Good, and resting there. We're going to move into heel slides. So leaving your hands by your sides. Inhale, T-zone, neutral spine. Exhale, we're going to slide one leg out along the mat, reaching through the toes, ribs to hips. And inhale, T-zone, bring the heel back up towards your bum. Exhale, slide the other leg out, ribs to hips. And inhale, T-zone, bring the heel back in. Most importantly, we're not changing the angle of our pelvis. We're using our abdominals to keep the spine and hips as still as possible. Exhale, extend along the floor. And inhale, T-zone, bring the heel back in. Couple more. Lifting through the pelvic floor, drawing those hips in towards each other, scooping down through those lower abdominals. We're going to keep going with those legs, heel slides. I'm going to add in our arm prep. Shoulder blades down and back, arms out towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to slide both arms back and one leg out, ribs to hips. And inhale, bring it all back in. Exhale, both arms and other leg, ribs to hips. And inhale, bring it back up. Couple more. Closing those abdominals down and in, anchoring the tailbone down. Almost there. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, ribs to hips. Shoulders down and back. Chin tucked in, neutral spine, the natural arch. Good, and resting there. We're going to take our hands behind the head, interlocking the fingers behind your head, keeping the elbows wide and shoulders down and back. Neutral spine, the natural arch. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, tuck the chin, curl ribs to hips, and lift the head and shoulders, take the eyes to the knees. Inhale, lower, T-zone tight. And exhale, lift, ribs to hips. Scooping through those abdominals. Exhale, ribs to hips to lift the head and shoulders up. Anchoring that tailbone down, leaving a natural arch underneath the lower back as you curl. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Keeping the neck long, chin tucked in, shoulders down and back, elbows wide. Neutral spine, tailbone down, natural arch, T-zone tight, pelvic floor up, hips in towards each other, scooping down, ribs to hips. Couple more. Okay, we're going to add in a bent knee fall out. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to lift the head and shoulders up and gently let one knee fall out towards the side. Inhale, bring the knee back in, relax the curl. And exhale, curling up and let the other knee fall out. Working hard to keep those hips parallel to the floor, tailbone down. Ribs to hips. T-zone, working hard to keep your body as still as possible through the torso. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Gently rocking towards the edge of the foot, keeping those hips in towards each other. Good, and resting there. We're going to move into ab curl with a lift foot. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lifting the head and shoulders up, ribs to hips, and draw one knee towards the chest. Inhale, lower, T-zone tight. And exhale, lift the other knee, ribs to hips. Inhale, lower, keep that tailbone pressed down to the floor, maintaining the natural arch. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keeping the feet light on the floor, bum relaxed. Scooping those abs down and in, ribs to hips. Couple more. And resting there. We're going to move into our ab curl with a heel slide. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up and slide one heel out, ribs to hips. And inhale, lower the curl and bring the foot in. Exhale, other leg, ribs to hips. And inhale, bring it back in. Couple more. Inhale, T-zone, pelvic floor up. Exhale, ribs to hips. Good, and resting down. We're going to move into oblique curl next with the tailbone down, natural arch. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to curl the head and shoulders up, rib towards the opposite hip, eyes to the outside of the knee. Inhale, lower, and exhale, curl to the other side. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. You can see all the rotation comes from shoulder to knee, rib to hip. My hips still stay very still, anchoring the tailbone down and maintaining that natural arch under the lower back. Scooping those abdominals in. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Couple more. Good, we're gonna add in our bent knee fallouts with our oblique curl. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're gonna curl rib towards the hip. The opposite knee gently falls out. Inhale, lower. And exhale, we're gonna curl to the other side and other knee gently falls out. Concentrating hard on which side of the body is moving. Anchoring that tailbone down, keeping the natural arch under the lower back. Working hard to keep your pelvis and spine as still as possible. Couple more. And resting down. We're going to keep those oblique curls going and we're going to move into our lift foot. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, curling up, rib towards the hip and bring the knee in towards our chest. Inhale, lower. And exhale, curl to the other side. Eyes towards the knee that comes up towards the chest. Inhale, lower. And exhale, curling up. Couple more. Tailbone down, natural arch. Try not to tuck the pelvis in to bring the knee up. Closing ribs to hips to facilitate the move. Shoulders down and back, elbows wide. Good, and resting there. Alrighty, we're going to imprint the spine now. So using the abdominals to flatten the spine down, tilting the pelvis so your pubic bone sits higher than the hips, and just touching the tailbone to the floor. We're going to imprint the spine, bring one leg up into tabletop and then the other, and hands up in front of the chest, palms facing each other. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to take the hands back behind the head, ribs to hips. Inhale, bring them back up in front of the chest. And exhale, curling through, take the hands past the hips. Inhale, lower, take the hands up in front of the chest. And exhale, hands back behind the head, ribs to hips. If you forget where you're up to, just think on the inhale, the hands come up to the ceiling every time. Exhale, curl through, hands past the hips, ribs to hips. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back behind the head. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, curl through. You can still do this on a neutral spine with the feet down. We're just making it a little bit harder by lifting both feet up and imprinting the spine. Taking constant work through the abdominals to hold this spinal position. Scooping in the T-zone. Ribs to hips on the exhale. Shoulders down and back. Chin tucked in, neck nice and long. Couple more. And gently leaving those hands up in front of the chest now, palms facing each other. Keeping the feet and knees hip width apart. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to toe tap one foot towards the floor and take the opposite arm back behind the head, ribs to hips. Inhale, bring everything back in. And exhale, other side. Toe tap the floor, hand behind the head. And inhale, bring it all back in. Make sure you're working opposite sides of the body. Left arm, right leg. And right arm, left leg. Working hard to keep that spine imprinted. Ribs to hips. T-zone tight. Scooping those abs in towards the spine. Couple more. Good. From here, we're going to keep our arms and knees up in our dead bug position. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to take our left arm out to the side and our right leg in a bent knee fall out. Inhale, bring it all back in. And exhale, other arm and leg. Inhale, T-zone, bring it all back in. And exhale, let the arm and knee fall out. Working hard to keep that spine imprinted. Everything else nice and straight and in line. Drawing those hips in towards each other. Rib to hip. Couple more. Keeping spine imprinted, T-zone tight, scooping those abs in, ribs to hips. Shoulders down and back. Couple more. And resting there. We're going to lower one leg to the floor, then the other, and then relax the spine. Good. All finished.